You press the switch on.
I press the switch.
Okay,
We're on.
Guys,
Anto, introduce us today.
Okay. Hey,
You're in a good mood.
This could be the last podcast of the year.
Man.
We are in good mood. We are in good mood. We are in good
What
mood.
ear?
You still have the almond on your lips.
Oh, well, I have. Well, listen. I don't know if you guys can appreciate this.
Don't
but
pull it. It's gonna go everywhere.
Spill everywhere.
Marco's mother made this spectacular crumb cake.
Just
and
for
like that. Get the
research
whole thing.
purposes.
yeah.
And put it in your mouth.
Hey,
Go on.
all right, and it is top of the line.
It's incredible, but it's very crumbly. And Anto likes to make big
Sharp.
messes.
So from me, this is the goat Antonio. On my left we have Peter Curto. The
How's
way
that your left?
That's across from you, buddy.
no, it's on my left.
Left is Alessandro
It's
over
okay.
there.
Well, we got Alessandro.
We got
the
producers. We got a lot of
and we got
producers in the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in front of me, okay, we got Peter Curto, or PC,
Curto.
personal
Curto.
computer. Next to him is Eminem, Marco Messina, and then next to me is MK,
Michael
Michael
Kors.
Kors, aka Kantaris Il Greco.
Are you guys friends again? Because you had a little
it's all
outing
right.
the
What
other
do you mean
day.
friends
We're
again? We never,
We're always best buddies.
they're jealous, Mike.
They
That's
are
the problem.
jealous. I know. They want to sit next to you.
I don't think we should let them sit next to each other anymore.
What happened?
You see that? They're trying to split us.
I wasn't here this
split us
weekend.
apart.
What happened?
Where were you?
I was playing a tour
Uber.
guide.
There
No,
we
tour
go.
guide and Uber too.
That's
does it.
usual
He
for
does
you,
it all.
right, bud, or no?
Oh, only when people are here.
You were doing
fight.
exactly
They fight
what
all.
Analista tells you to do every day, not just last week. You do exactly what Analista
You know something about that.
like a good boy, and you're doing
Oh
excellent.
my God!
Anto,
Alright,
let's
that's
let's talk about good boys.
Mm-hmm.
Are you regretting? You're just complaining before we started the podcast about some of Milan's attackers. Are you regretting watching CDK doing what he's doing every single week for Atalanta? They need somebody to solve the game, to fix it with Atalanta. Charles de Catalata is there. Lookman goes down. He's not playing great. Retegui gets injured. But CDK is there.
I appreciate your intention to instigate me, but let me just answer your question in a polite way. First of all, we're coming from an ugly win the same way Atalanta did win ugly. Juventus had an ugly win, and Napoli had an ugly win. Inter had an ugly win. Lazio had an ugly win. Everybody won ugly, and Napoli had another ugly win. So every
You
time
said
that AC
Napoli,
Milan wins ugly and he gets the 3 points, it's highly appreciated. Those 3 points are highly needed right
What
now.
does that have to do with Charles de Catalata?
Charles de Catalare, it was not my intention to sell him. Unfortunately, it was sold.
But my question is, do you regret selling it?
I don't regret anything. I just keep moving forward.
No
I move
regrets?
forward.
No regrets.
I
You have the
move
tattoo?
forward. I move forward. I never look back.
There
I
we
move
go.
forward. I'm a
There we
forward
Thinker.
thinker.
All right.
Okay.
So, Michael, somebody more rational. Do you think Milan should have kept Charles de Catalata looking back?
God.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, Anto. He's a superstar right
Well,
now.
you're looking at me like it's my fault. I
But
haven't done it.
you say you don't regret it.
I don't regret it. It's too late.
So that's what
It's
I'm
late.
saying. He's doing incredible. We posted a stat on Twitter where since what was it, late September, he hasn't gone consecutive games without scoring or assisting. So I mean, we've talked about how Gasperini and Atalanta have been incredible and just know with their system, they just know how to produce these players. They know how to make them work. Even Zaniolo's looking pretty decent after everyone thought his career was over. But yeah, Milan would have really appreciated someone like that, especially now.
You know what I think is really special about this Atalanta? There's a couple things on my mind. So they win 11 Serie A games in a row. The last two teams to win 11 Serie A games in a row was the Conte of Inter, which won the Scudetto, and Spalletti's Napoli, which also won the Scudetto, which I thought was interesting because obviously everybody's talking about if Atalanta can go all the way. What I think is special about this team, what they have over Inter and what they have over Napoli, is that they're the only team out of them that can play with no pressure. There's no pressure on Atalanta to go on and win the title. The fans are not going to boo them if they don't win.
Who said so?
Any Atalanta fan,
You saying that, but not the pressure is building up on them too.
it will never
Watch
build
me.
up on them to the level of Inter and Napoli and Juventus and Milan. And I think that actually helps them a lot this season. They're winning the games that I never remember them winning. Winning the games ugly, which you need to do in a Scudetto year. Any team that goes on to win the title, they have these little moments where they find options. And they've got guys that can solve games. We just said, even when Lookman's not playing well, Gasperini said himself, even when Retegui goes out injured, even when this guy's not there, look, Charles de Catalata, they each can play their part. But I think the fact that they don't have that pressure and the Atalanta fans are just so damn happy with everything that they're doing is going to go a long way, because when you can play with this calmness, when you can play with this flow and you get in this flow state, I think it could really make for something special this year. And obviously, I hope, and I've seen even fans of other teams say, listen, if we can't win it, we want Atalanta to be the guys to do it.
And on top of that, just really quickly, after Atalanta's win, Pasalic actually said post-match that in the locker room, Atalanta's president came in the locker room and said, 40 points, we have 40 points. Good, our first objective is complete. We didn't get relegated.
Oh.
Because
So it shows that
the reality of the team was when Gasperini was signed by
Did
Atalanta,
not get
the first thing that
relegated,
Percassi told him is, guys, we can't get relegated because that's the reality
but
of the
it sounds
club.
like mind games now, though, Anto, right?
No,
Listen,
I think that's just a way of remembering
Yeah,
your
yeah,
roots
yeah,
and
whatever.
staying feet on the ground.
I think the business strategy, because now Atalanta is part Americans too, right? It's been
55%.
55% American,
By Pagliuca,
right?
the owner of the
So
Celtics.
the business mentality is working for them now, and it's not working for AC Milan. I'll tell you the reasons why I'm bringing this
But
thing here.
let me just give one difference, though. Percassi really is the one that's running the team. He
Right.
just won Best President and out of all of world football in a summit recently. He's the one that's making the decisions. Pagliuca, who is American, he's more so helping on a different side, helping on the marketing,
Behind
helping
the scenes.
fund. So he's kind of left that off. And I think that the American ownerships that have had the most success is when you have that sort of balance. He didn't come in and say, all right, now you're going to do it my way. He said, we have something really good going. Let me put some fuel onto the fire.
Well, the point that I'm trying to make is this one here. Atalanta is not the team that they go after superstars like, I don't know, Juventus did it in the past, AC Milan did it in the past, PSG did it in the past, trying to fill up all their roster with superstars.
They build.
That does not translate necessarily in winning trophies and championship and putting quality on the field. So we have seen it. I mean, PSG is really the biggest example of failure when you have Neymar, Messi, you name it, nothing but la nazionale del mondo they had, and they couldn't win.
And they moved away from that this summer. You see, they sold
So
Mbappe.
they're all
They went
gone.
with
They're
more
playing
homegrown,
youthful,
Paris-based.
yeah, youthful
It's still not
players.
working out. In Champions League, it's not going well. Domestically, they have
takes
some
time.
competition
It's
this
year
year.
one.
It takes
But yeah,
time,
yeah,
it
yeah.
takes
I mean,
time.
yeah, Luis Enrique has been there
the
for a
co-
while, but yeah, it is year one.
I
In
was
that
reading
sense.
something recently that said the contrast between the AC Milan of Berlusconi and the AC Milan that we have right now. That Berlusconi, like what's his name, Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, they brought the best into the squad just because they wanted to win at any cost.
Galacticos, like
Right,
Real Madrid.
at any cost. Right now, the mentality has changed. Redbirds, Cardinale, he said, okay, listen, our mentality is not to buy the best from everywhere and then go to bankruptcy the next year vis-a-vis Inter.
Oh.
Vis-a-vis Inter. what they did.
Vis-a-vis
Ay, ay, ay.
Inter.
But that's what
We're
they
5
did.
minutes in, and
They
already
bought
we got to these.
everybody. They buy everybody. They eliminate the competition. Then they wound up by chance to winning the campionato. And then 3 weeks later, they filed for bankruptcy because Zang, they couldn't pay the debts.
So Cardinale has spoken. Marotta, it's your chance to give the rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm breathing fire.
First- truth. I'm not making this up.
First off, in these last 3 years, we've went down from $246 million in debt to negative 46.
We
So
got that counting
we're on
already.
our way down as far as
But
the
you still
debt,
have
and
debts.
we're lowering the
You
debt.
still have debts.
Okay, when you buy a house and you have a mortgage, is that a debt?
Don't
It's
cha-
considered
don't
a debt.
change subject. We're
That's
talking
the
about
same thing.
sports and soccer.
He's got a
Anytime you
point.
deal with investment or trying to build
Good
out
luck with
capital
this one,
injections,
Anta.
you're gonna have some debt. Some debt is good. Debt is good sometimes.
not good.
It is good.
That's not
It is
good.
good. So what
That's
I
who
would
says
say,
that that is good?
any businessman will tell you that debt is good because you can use the investment. That's
Well,
right.
you are on the wrong business if you think that way, man.
Wait, bagels.
It depends on
Where's it going?
capital injection.
Well, we're talking about the bagels later, okay? Go ahead.
So my point is that Inter are on the right trajectory. They're winning and maintaining the requirements put forth by UEFA and FPF, where we're being able to do everything by the books. When it comes to Milan, it looks like you guys care more about turning a profit than putting actual players in the position to succeed. And that's what we see in this recent
But they're
Milan.
trying to be sustainable.
So
at
they're
the same
sustainable,
time.
but at the same time have been a disaster when it comes from management to the players on the field. So it's how you want to look at it. I think as an Inter fan, I'm a lot happier to see that my team, even though we're in debt, are going to win the Scudetto again.
Oh my
Rather
God! I
than
never heard
Milan.
Peter say that.
So you're going to win the Scudetto again, right?
We will,
You're
yes.
going to win the Scudetto?
We'll clip that.
And what happened if you don't win the Scudetto, Pete?
We'll win the Champions League.
You're going to win the Champions
Oh! And if now you guys are in debt.
Marotta had a lot to drink.
It's Christmas, baby.
You know, I have a feeling there's going to be another change of property by June again on Inter, because you're not going to win neither the Scudetto and you're not going to win the Champions
Listen,
League.
Oak Tree, I think they're in this to reassess the team, try to get the stadium, and they probably would look to sell. It's just inevitable.
really
That's
matter,
the
though.
style of their investment. All right, they were the Elliott. What Elliott was. for
Don't
Milan.
compare
It
Oak
is.
Tree
No,
with
Oak Tree
Elliott.
was Elliott.
Listen,
Yes,
for
Oak Tree is massive in the United States.
For Inter fans, I don't think that they will really care about who owns the
Marotta
team.
is
I
the
think
president.
you care that Marotta's the president, and as long as he's in charge, there's going to be the proper investment into the
How
squad.
long can it last? I don't know.
But he
But
just became the
he'll be-
president.
No, I know, but I'm saying I could see it maybe for another 5 to 10 years. But is that realistic? He was there another 10 years? I don't know.
All right, I have a wild statement, and you guys got to tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm not crazy. Before we do that,
You're
you guys can
crazy.
see. Thanks. You can see we're rocking the jackets if you're watching on YouTube right now. We still have a couple left. I don't know. Do you have the
A
sizes?
few different sizes. I don't have them.
Some are out, some are in. We got the blue,
medium, XL,
I
and
don't
we
have
got
the-
and we got the white. Go to
Go check on the
ItalianFootballTV.com.
Yeah, you should sell the one Antonio's wearing right now.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants that.
We're gonna have
Antonio
to.
worn.
We're gonna have to.
Calcio.
I
It's
was-
gonna be double
We
the
have
price.
to pay them. to
Double
take
the
it.
price.
Are you kidding me?
Look how I protect. Look how
I will
I push you
personally.
forward.
I will
Nobody
personally
wants
deliver
any-
Sign it.
I will personally sign and deliver it to your door, to your.
Why are we gonna ruin the value of a
You're
nice
gonna get
jacket?
Antonio's back hairs on this
Yeah,
jacket.
sign the
That's
inside.
disgusting.
I'll sign it inside.
You guys, you will not get Antonio's back hair. You will get a brand new jacket. I can guarantee
Straight from
you.
the box.
ItalianFootballTV.com.
But the
Go and
offer
get
is
yours.
there. The offer is there.
Hit up
Okay,
IFTV Antonio for
wild,
that
wild
one.
statement right now. Since you brought up PSG, we're talking about Atalanta. Lookman, my favorite player in the Serie A. I say it all the time. I think that nobody has a guy like this. In the summer, he tried to push for a move. He tried to go to PSG. Am I crazy in thinking that you should rather stay at Atalanta than go to PSG at this moment?
He wants some money.
Besides, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
my
it's a
one
big
caveat
thing.
is a financial aspect, which I know you can't really overlook, but for this purposes, you will. I feel like Atalanta has more of a chance to actually go far and win than PSG do. Am I crazy?
In
No.
what?
Am I
Win
prisoner
what?
of the moment?
Win what exactly? PSG's gonna win the league. Is Atalanta gonna win Serie A?
No,
Yes.
but in Champions League. In
Champions League too.
Champions League.
Okay.
Am I crazy in thinking that Atalanta could go further
That's
than
tough.
PSG?
No, Atalanta may.
But if
win
you don't
the
win, what's the
Champions
PSG have been a
difference?
disaster.
But if you don't win it, what's the difference? He just says he
Yeah,
wants
but
to
you're
win
still
something.
competing at the highest level.
I get it, but if
You're doing great in a place. Why switch it up? You have a great coach, a fan base that loves you. You just won AFCON Men's Footballer of the Year.
I get it, but
And you're a
how
competitive
realistic
team.
could they win Champions League? Atalanta.
That's my point. Is it more realistic for Atalanta to win the Champions League than PSG?
Okay, maybe they'll go further
Is it?
than PSG.
Yeah, PSG is
but
on the
that's
bottom side of the table, so.
But they're still
I
gonna
would
win
say
their
yes if you
league,
look at
their
probability.
Okay,
domestic
but
league,
but
right?
nobody
Champions
cares about
League.
that.
Nobody cares
cares
about
Even in
the-
Paris, they don't care about that.
Okay,
Nobody.
But so my question is, am I crazy in thinking
can
that it's
definitely
more
see
likely?
Atalanta going further in the Champions League than PSG, but I don't think they're gonna win it.
Okay,
I
but
think it's
who has a
still
better chance?
unrealistic.
If I gave you $10 and I said, here, go put this bet on
They're both
one of
not
them.
gonna win it, but Atalanta's gonna go a round further.
No. I'll tell you what.
I feel like he should stay. My point is
Atalanta-
that Lookman, you don't have to look elsewhere.
Listen.
Unless it's
He
Real
doesn't
Madrid.
have to look elsewhere.
Nice. If it's
Cut
not
that
Real
out.
Madrid, if it's not the top of the top, the Manchester City, the Liverpool, do you really have to leave Atalanta?
Listen, just the recent history. We're talking about weeks ago and last year. Atalanta, they spanked Liverpool, which is supposed to be the top team right now.
They are the
They
top team
are
right
right
now.
now.
Okay,
yeah.
so they got spanked, but not spanked. They got humiliated by
Mm-hmm.
Atalanta and Gasperini. What makes you think that it's not realistic? What do they have more?
Money speaks.
Stop. Mike, we're
Let
talking
him go,
about
let him go.
on the grass, the money they don't count. On the grass,
Okay.
you have to play ball, man. So I think as Atalanta, the team is structured and the society is structured, and the fact that they have no pressure, what you brought up, and the fact that their mentality and their status, their emotional status, is in good hands and in good shapes. I think that's a big thing. Because look, AC Milan, we have a lot of talent. We have a lot
It
of
all
talent.
goes back to Milan.
We have a
Oh
lot.
my God.
Relax. We have all you need. We have all the ingredients to make it the perfect soup. But the
You
soup
add too
gets
much salt,
spoiled.
that's the problem.
Leftovers.
That's
When
what
you
I'm
add
saying.
too much salt to
So
something,
what I'm
doesn't come out
saying
good.
what I'm saying is, do not discount Atalanta. To me, I would rather Atalanta not to win the Campionato, but I think I can see Atalanta winning the Champions League. You say, "Oh, Anto, you crazy." Go ahead, tell me. Am I
You
crazy?
already know what I'm gonna say.
Okay, so that's
So
what
it
I'm
doesn't
saying to you.
matter.
I can see Atalanta winning the
Am I
Champions League.
crazy in thinking that Lookman, he shouldn't look elsewhere? Again, if I take out those three or four teams in the world, and I'm not going to put PSG within that list. I'm going to put Real Madrid. I'm going to put Liverpool.
Milan.
I'm going to put Manchester City.
Milan. you can put
Outside of
Milan
them, do you really leave a very special thing that you have right now in a place where you're competitive, in a place where you're loved, in a place where you're playing good football?
It all depends on the motivation of the player, but also, PSG. I know we're saying what's the probability of winning this year, but when you look at financials, you look at the stage that you're playing in, Paris as a city, PSG, how it's looked on globally in global football, you're at a different level compared to Atalanta in the marketing side and the merchandising side. So
But
like
he's
you
getting
as
that now. He just won AFCON Football of the
Yeah,
Year.
but
he's playing in Champions League nights. Everyone's talking about him.
For sure, but you're never going to be talked about more than the players that play at the big teams because it's Atalanta. Now, it could change. Let's not forget that the PSG deal that was supposed to happen was going to happen this summer. Nobody knew that Atalanta were going to continue this streak or continue this style of play. And, even when it comes to the investments for an Atalanta compared to a PSG, they're not going to break the bank if they have to or if they could. PSG can and will at times.
But like Antonio mentioned, that hasn't always worked out for them.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't mean that you're going to throw money and
Of
you're going to have
course.
success.
No, of course.
But
But
it's
as far
still
as a
on his
player,
bank account.
he still has to evaluate all of that, and then ultimately it depends on the player's motivation.
I just don't want him to leave. He's my favorite player to watch, and it's not even close. He's the player that I think they always say in Italy, worth the price of admission, right? Like you go to the stadium to watch a player. For me, Lookman is that player, and I don't want him to leave Serie A.
Let me put this way. Atalanta does not have superstars, but they have players that are just not good. They're very good. So if you have two superstars and the rest are just average, comparing to very good player in every position, what would you pick? What would you put your chance for you to be the winner? Everyone in Atalanta they have talents at every level. So they don't have the Neymar, they don't have the Messi, they don't have I don't know, Rodri or whatever you want. But they have the Catelare that 2 years ago was not known.
No,
Okay.
everybody knew him. You guys mismanaged.
All right.
Oh boy.
Another talent that I hope you don't mismanage, a guy that I really like watching, if we transition to Milan, Jimenez really impressed me.
We got
impressed me.
Hernandez and we got Theo Hernandez that doesn't want to leave. Doesn't want to leave from AC Milan.
So
Theo
what
Hernandez
do we
wanted to stay.
what do we think about this Theo Hernandez situation? Because it's now second game in a row that Fonseca he drops him essentially from the starting 11. We saw this. He's done it with Leao. It's not the first player that he's done it with. We can absolutely say that Theo has not played up to the standards, to the level that we've seen Theo Hernandez play. Not always just with the ball at his feet, but just from a hunger side, a hunger perspective. Do you think Milan got to sell Theo Hernandez?
You know what? If the right price comes up, and Cardinale actually said it, we're not here. Tonali was sold not because we didn't want Tonali or we didn't value Tonali. We sold him because we, AC Milan, Redbird, saw the opportunity to say, we sell Tonali, we buy 4 more players that are going to be a lot more valuable for AC Milan for the project that we have to keep the team young and to move forward and to do a lot more with less. So that's what we did, and they got a big surplus into from the selling of Tonali. If Theo Hernandez wants to leave, because I'm not 100% sure that Theo Hernandez wants to leave, but if he does want to leave and he goes to the management and they say, I want to be sold because I'm not happy over here, I'm sure the price has to be right, because by monetizing Theo Hernandez, AC Milan can go after a couple other players that they can just change.
You think Jimenez has enough?
Yes, he does.
over?
He does.
Mike, Peter, what do you think about selling Theo Hernandez?
I don't think that it'd be that big of a deal. If you can get a decent amount in January for him, I say go.
Oh, January.
Yeah.
Not even June.
No, January.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna take a leap of faith for someone like Jimenez, but if you can grow someone like that at that age and give your trust in him, yeah, he's still young, he's gonna make mistakes, but he's gonna be someone that's gonna listen, he's gonna give his all, and sometimes Theo acts like he's bigger than the club, and sometimes he does more harm than he does good. And defensively, I just think he's a liability. I don't think he's a true defender. I think he's more as a midfield, a left mid kind of player or wing back, whatever the case is. So if I see a good opportunity to sell him for a good chunk of change in January, I think
if we don't sell it,
and
listen, Marco. If we don't sell it, they can both play together. They're not the same players, and they don't play the same position. To me, Theo Hernandez is not a left D. It's not a defender. So I can see Theo Hernandez moving up a little bit.
When is this contract over? 2026.
2026.
Okay, so at this point, Milan have to make a decision because if they don't sell him by
Here we go
easy.
You don't have to
Don't hurt yourself. Shove it all in your mouth. All at once.
Tilt your
There
head
we
back.
go.
Tilt your head back.
You're
You
gonna
don't
choke
want any
him.
crumbs, buddy. Chew.
Move the camera over here.
Put your mic down while you chew. Thank you.
I like how he puts it closer when he chews, but when he talks, he puts it away.
Would you sell?
Theo Hernandez, if his contract's expiring in 2026, Milan have to make a decision now as far as what they want to do for the summer, because you need him sold in the summer of 2025 if you're going to look to sell him. If not, you risk losing the player for free and be another, mistake what they did with Donnarumma. So either you're renewing him or you're selling him. As far as this Jimenez, he's had a good couple of games. I'm sure with Fonseca, this is a statement to Theo Hernandez as well. When you're winning, it looks good. When you're losing, that's what we have to see how Milan responds. And I think, and I'm not sure because I haven't really been following in this case, but has Zlatan or anybody said anything about Theo Hernandez being on the bench? Because that's going to be an important part of seeing how the management responds to the decisions of the coach. But if you're winning games, Jimenez is a young player coming up. He looks promising. Theo Hernandez, let's say from now until March, right? They're probably going to evaluate this Jimenez, and if they feel he can be the right guy to lead the project, they're going to sell Theo in the summer.
Theo does look happy, though. I do think Theo is very happy in Milan. There's a lot of factors that go into a player wanting to stay, but I do think on the pitch, the highs are too high and the lows have been too low, especially this season.
My take, I'll tell you, my projection
I was just gonna say,
He was about to add
his
something.
wife is
He's gonna
Italian,
stay.
or girlfriend is Italian.
They
No,
met
his
in
wife.
Milano.
His
That makes a
wife.
difference.
Okay, so that
Does he
helps.
put his wife?
Also, if you're
Antonio knows everything about the
wags.
why,
I know the
wags.
The
I know
wag.
wags
is it a
everywhere.
wife?
The Wagyu.
No.
Okay, keep going.
Okay,
Keep
anyway.
She's the
Keep
wife.
going. Keep
She's
going.
his
Okay,
wife.
so she's Italian, and you're in Milano. That's one of the best cities to live in Europe. So you play for historic teams such as AC Milan. You're in a great city. There's really no reason why any player that lives in Milan should want to leave, unless he's not having a good time
you wanna win.
and he's not playing. That's the ultimate decision.
That is what Chloe Christopher is. Right?
We're gonna transition.
What do you mean a transition?
Transition like next topic.
Oh, next topic.
Yeah. No more about Milan.
Listen. Unfortunately, 20 years ago, the Gazzetta dello Sport was about the sports, but now every single session you see the WAGS session. You see Vandanara, you see Chloe, you see this.
Let's
you
not
see
talk
that,
about
you see
Vandanara.
this, you see that. Everything is about the WAGS, and believe me, the WAGS they make a big
And you
difference.
scroll straight past that, right? And go straight to the sport
I don't
articles.
check the WAGs. I
Okay.
just go
Gotcha.
whatever.
Close
is
your
on
eyes
there.
when you see that.
That's
Go to
it.
the sports.
Shall we talk about Roma? Getting
Yes.
back on track.
Yes.
It was
Finally.
nice to see. I think they needed a win like this. They needed the 5-0. The last couple games have been going right with Claudio Ranieri. We talked about it a million times. We all thought Ranieri was the guy for the job, right? He's going to try to transition, find a new coach for Roma when he becomes a director. But it was just nice to see them happy. And Dybala back on the score sheet. It feels like forever that we've seen the best Paulo Dybala. We know the quality that he has. Even Ranieri said it after the game. It's one Roma with Dybala. It's one Roma without Dybala. I really love the moment where, and it's easy when you got champagne problems. They're 3-0 up, but Dybala takes the ball because there's a penalty kick. He's supposed to be the penalty kick taker, and he gives it to Paredes, his countryman, obviously
Paisan.
Argentinian as well as Paisan, right? And he gives it to him because they're having a baby. His family's having a baby, so that he could score the goal, put the ball underneath his shirt, and celebrate. So nice little camaraderie within the team. And Paredes is another guy that's starting to grow again. He lost a lot of faith in the last manager, And now under Ranieri, he's become an important piece. And I think that anyone who isolates Paredes really doesn't understand a lot about football because he's a very important player.
Yeah, big statement win overall. Everyone pretty much on the score sheet. Dovbyk, obviously, Dybala, all good from there. I just hopefully they could build from this because I feel like Ranieri's that kind of person that doesn't have any enemies. So as long as Roma finish on the left side of the table at the end of the season, and from there, they can build on their squad because at the end of the day, they got a lot of players that they can move on from. But this is one of those seasons that get as high as you can and forget about it.
You know what I was thinking? I think Coppa Italia could actually be an important for them. I know that they played against Sampdoria, a second division side that is also scary, could be fighting relegation. They're doing really bad, and they rotated their 11. But I was thinking about it because Coppa Italia is an opportunity to win a trophy. Ranieri comes out of retirement for his love for Roma. He's said a million times in the past he would give up his Leicester City Premier League trophy, which for many people is the biggest sporting achievement ever. He said, I would throw that away to win a Scudetto with Roma because of the bond that he has. So it would be also a fairy tale on top of a very poor season, on top of Roma fans having to boo ownership all time long, to go on and go far in the Coppa Italia, win a trophy, and give something for the fans to
Listen, I give
celebrate.
him a lot of credit because he was brought in when Roma had to go through a very bad stretch. And, they didn't do very well, unfortunately, because, scrambling at the last minutes and then you suck the Juric and then, But the Coppa Italia, like you said, it could be a big incentive for them to say, hey, this is our only chance. If we win the Coppa Italia, we might get into the UEFA. Unfortunately for them, they're going to be facing AC Milan. And AC Milan.
I don't know if Roma feels the same way about that.
Fortunately.
Hello, English. AC Milan. Unfortunately for Roma,
That's their only objective, AC Milan, is to win the Coppa Italia.
They're not on the top shape either, and they wanted to just cling to the same opportunity that besides being on the one of the top 5. To not,
Now we say top 5, me.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Well,
listen, I don't think we're going to win the Campionato this year.
Yeah, I mean,
I just said it a couple times.
we
You're not
know
winning
already.
either, okay?
We know.
So I think Coppa Italia could be very important for us, and we're not going to let this opportunity
Slip.
us
slip.
meaning Milan.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes.
We went back to
yes.
Milan. Why don't we talk
Juve.
about Napoli? And Conte's still upset even after the win. Great first half, remarkable first half, where Kvara's still not there, no Buongiorno. And I thought, okay, finally, they come out and they start the game well. Because sometimes they take so long to freaking get going. And the second half fall apart. And Genoa probably deserved more from that game. I was sure that even Balotelli maybe was going to have it with his shot. Pinamonti's been on fire, 6 goals in 16 games. Ever since Balotelli came, the guy woke up and started remembering how to score. Vieira had been unbeaten until this point. I think 4 games unbeaten, only conceding maybe 1 goal in that time frame. So it was going well. And Napoli, the conversation has been, can they keep this up? Is it sustainable to keep winning these 1-0s, these 2-1s, these not playing good football, not being expensive? Do you guys think that this is going to come back and bite them? Yeah. Or is it the sign of a strong team that's going to grow on into the season? What do you think?
It's tough overall because these are just these gritty wins. Conte, it's a blueprint of his career. If you look back for all his teams, he always loved getting these gritty wins. And to me, I'm not even worried for Napoli because they're doing what they're supposed to. Even though they're not pretty, whatever the case is, Kvara's not playing. Neres is doing an excellent job in his place. I think he's playing great, and I think Neres could really cement himself as a starter here. All the players really aren't really playing up to par. So I just think it's a matter of time till we have Lukaku, Kvara, Neres really firing at their top form.
We're in basically January. We're almost in
Yeah,
January.
I know it is kind of
We
late.
still haven't. I thought it would come a little bit earlier.
Me too, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's gonna prolong till April. I think it's gonna come sooner rather than later.
So I'll say this: I think that they have more points than I expected at this point. I didn't think that they would be, they were first until Atalanta won their game, rightfully so. But I didn't think that they would be that high. But I thought the performances would start to get better. I still am in the camp of it's a positive and that it will turn around.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
You're
the
shaking
first
your
few
head.
First few weeks, you guys already said, "Oh, Conte is going to win." They're not playing any competition. They're not playing international competition. Oh, Conte. That's what you guys needed from the very beginning at AC Milan. This team is not going to win with what they have. Number one. Number two, this Neres is not a substitute of Kvaras. Kvaras is much better than Neres. They're 2 different players. Number three. This team here is not what Spalletti had, and the competition that we have right now is not the same competition that Spalletti had when they won the Campionato with the records amount of points. Serie A, it's not an easy campionato. Serie A, you can lose against Parma, you can lose against
Only you do that.
Empoli.
Milan.
Well, you guys are not winning either. So listen,
so
Genova. The
thanks to
only reasons why Napoli won against Genova is because San Gennaro from some place he was taking the ball away from the net and he was taking the ball away out because Genova deserve a tie 100%.
But at the same time, right? You could look across all of football. You could look. I'm gonna give a different example. Not even Serie A to keep them out of it. La Liga this weekend. Atletico beats Barcelona, where Barcelona has a million opportunities. They play much better. Somehow in the last minute they win, and you say, "Oh, that's a strong team." You find ways to win. So isn't it also a positive that they are winning the games when maybe they shouldn't have won?
Listen, at some point, the luck, it runs out, and then the true color of the team comes on top.
So you're in that camp. Okay.
Yes.
Which camp are you in?
No, I think Napoli are in a position where they're in striking distance to win the Scudetto. The only thing is, for me, as Antonio alluded to, Inter and Atalanta are on fire. So they're good, but can they keep up with the Atalanta and the Inter right now? So it kind of gives me the similarities of how let's say Conte's first year at Inter, which they were amazing, but then they fell a little short to Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus. So
and you scared you scared everyone at Juventus so much so that Sarri said he had to change his philosophy to make sure that he won.
Exactly. So I think Conte has that effect. He's a winning coach. He's gonna maybe not excite you in his style of play, but he's going to find a way to win. So I do like the response. Let's not forget, this was a Napoli team that was in 10th place last year. Very weak mentally. So being able to hold on to these games, it adds to that confidence level. It adds to that ability to go forward. Unfortunately, and they said it before, but Lukaku is not the same Lukaku. He can still be effective in the Serie A, but he's not Osimhen. I feel if there was Osimhen on this team, we would see something really, really scary.
But you're not mentioning, real quick, you're not mentioning champion. They're not in Europe.
Yeah, but he said.
No, I get that, but
we all know it's an old narrative.
Okay, but guess what? Atalanta and Inter are in Europe, and they're doing their thing.
Of course,
I know,
the
but
thing
we've
is,
talked about
Atalanta
it a
and
million
Inter,
times.
they could put their B team, right, quote unquote, and still be able to win in Serie A because they're all top players.
So here's a better argument I would put against a team like Atalanta. Inter, I'm not going to put it. But against Atalanta, even in the game against Empoli, which it's a hard-fought game, and I give them the credit for winning because they would not win these games, they just concede too much in the back for me. For a team that's going to go on and win the Scudetto, they concede too much, and I don't think their defenders are anything to write home about. Even Empoli had a lot of chances, guys. Empoli had a lot of chances. If they were clinical, they would score those chances, and that's it.
Empoli gave trouble to everybody in Serie A.
It's true.
Everybody.
It's true, 100%. But for me, Atalanta, if they're looking at different players in the attack, forget about the attack. The attack is amazing. The midfield is amazing. If Atalanta go on to win the Scudetto, they will not win the Scudetto unless they sign a defender. Unless they sign another defender to back them up in the back, because I still feel that's a vulnerability in the team when you're competing in all these competitions. And guess what? We want to criticize Napoli for the way that they play. Napoli don't do that. Napoli can be smart. Napoli can bunker down. I do have faith in, yes, I don't love them going forward. I'm not saying they're the best team in the world. Inter and Atalanta play much better football, but they have the ability to maintain a lead and not lose that lead most of the time.
Again, we are on the borderline luck and proveness that you can play defense. Okay, first of all, your previous statement, you compare Napoli from last year, they had 10 points less. That same Napoli won the Campionato the year before with one player less, Osimhen, okay? So that's not an excuse. Napoli, with all due respect, I love Napoli because I'm a man from the South, and I actually would love Napoli to win either over Inter or Juventus. But
yeah, we can tell.
I think Napoli is one of those teams that for now looks good from far, but far from
Anto,
good.
They're right.
Come on,
good
Anto.
from far, but far from good.
That's his opinion.
Lukaku is a non-existent factor for Napoli. He can score against a tiny little team here and there, but when Lukaku has been put in front of a top defender, Lukaku disappears. He disappears.
All right.
It's
so
actually the same thing that Lautaro is going through right now. That everybody scores except him.
I actually disagree on Lautaro.
Okay?
I disagree.
Yeah, that guy is having some sort of a mental issues.
He needs a
And
mental
we're still
coach.
winning.
Yeah.
Wait till he gets his head on straight.
Okay.
Oh,
The thing
boy.
is with Lautaro,
Well,
he
let's
does
wait. We keep waiting for
Lautaro
6
Lautaro
months
does a
already.
lot. Lautaro does a lot to help the team play good football. That's the thing that people don't realize. I know we want him to score more goals. He's capable of
course,
scoring
yeah.
more goals. This is not his level in terms of putting the ball into the back of the net, but he opens up the team in a way that's very important for a striker in an Inter system. Just watch it. Watch the way that he tucks in. Watch the way that he allows the midfielders to run in with space through the midfield, or the wing backs to get wide and to send the ball in. He does a lot of that. So as long as Inter's winning, I think they'll be happy. And then if he does hit the form where he's in front of the net and he feels good and he's got confidence, that's only a plus for Inter. Inter, my only takeaway in these last couple games, which is what we've all said all along, that they're the favorites to win the league. I mean, the book everybody says it, except maybe Antonio is making a face at me.
Peter's saying it.
But it's
First
so
time.
it's
You
so
still favor to win?
clear.
You
It's
still
so
favor to
clear
win?
how Inter are the best team for sure in terms of the football, in terms of the players, from top to bottom.
Yeah.
The
That
funny-
doesn't mean that they're going to go on to win, but they are the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
team
for sure.
in the Serie A.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Marco, but this guy, right? He goes, Napoli's not winning the Scudetto. Atalanta, they're not winning the Scudetto.
said so?
You just said they're not winning Scudetto, they're going to win the Champions
No, I
League.
said
allora,
I
chi
would-
vince lo Scudetto? Inter.
Listen to me. Listen
No,
to me.
who's going to
Body.
win it? Milan?
You-
Listen,
you-
I don't understand.
you tried to
That's
mix-
what you said it.
you
That's what
tried-
you
you
said.
I don't think he said
mix
Atalanta.
That's what he
things up.
said.
Did he say
Listen to
He
Atalanta?
me.
said they're going to win the
I
Champions
say
League.
I didn't say that Atalanta is not going to win the Scudetto. I
I
said
don't
don't believe they're
if
gonna
I
win
were
the
to
Scudetto.
pick, I said I would rather Atalanta to win the Champions League because Scudetto is a little
It's a little bit.
shit.
Milan can't even win.
Scudetto we call it chicken
Yeah,
shit.
all right,
So we
come
let
on. Stop it.
That's why you
chicken
guys are in
shit.
12th
Stop
place.
it.
Chicken
Stop
shit.
it.
That's why.
What are you trying to win?
Mike, I thought that you were my friend, Mike.
You don't want to win the Scudetto. Now that's a chicken shit. You rather win the Coppa Italia, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
That's how far Milan have fallen.
Wow.
I have no new takeaways from Juventus either. McKennie played left back again. I mean, he shows how smart he is. He's able to play in a million different positions, how important he is for the team. The front four was there, the front four that I think is the best team on paper, with Vlahovic, with Yildiz, with Nico Gonzalez, and with Conceição on the left. I love Nico Gonzalez. I think he's a very important player. But again, another game against Monza, which Monza probably deserve more. I mean, they had their opportunities. We know Nesta's team has been struggling to score goals. That's nothing new. They only had one win on the season. It was not the brilliant Juventus. It's not the Juventus that we keep waiting for every single week to show some consistencies. They could go and beat Cagliari, but you beat a Cagliari that has no motivation to play in the Coppa Italia. So how much does that really mean? Then you tie Venezia just before the 20th place Venezia. It's good that you get a win because, like you said, everybody struggled against Monza. You tied Monza.
Monza's very tough
Fiorentina
too.
tied Monza.
Feel bad for Nesta.
I feel very bad for Nesta. He's not eating the
way
panettone
they-
this year.
the way they
He's
play-
dead last in Serie A.
But it's not his fault. For me, it's not his
It's
fault.
not his fault.
Come
not
on,
his fault.
dude.
The team was ruined. I
They-
think
they're okay. I'll give you this. Monza, when they play, they give a lot of trouble. They create a good amount of chances, but they're not clinical
You
at
want
all.
Nesta to put the ball
They
into the back
can't
of the net?
score.
Mike,
buy him a
But that's
striker.
part of
Buy him a
it.
striker. They've
no-
needed
That's it.
There
You
hasn't
don't
been
need
any
to suck
investment.
Nesta.
There hasn't
Who do you
been
think
any
the
investment in the team.
I think Peter's spot on. For me, the Berlusconi fan, I don't know how much they're
No,
really
they're not.
interested
They're looking to sell. They've came out
in
and
putting
said
a
that they've
proper
been
team.
taking-
They did something incredible coming to Serie A with Palladino, with Galliani, with Berlusconi, with everybody. And then from there, every transfer window, selling off a piece, selling off a piece, selling off a piece, and not reinforcing it like Atalanta do when they were selling off a piece. They just kept falling short of their weaknesses. They've needed a center forward for I don't know how long. And then what do? You sell Copani, the only guy that was bringing you goals. So for me, it's more that than it is Nesta.
But it's not even that. Also, their defense. Their defense is. I feel like
not
they-
bad,
depends on who you
actually.
have.
It's not bad.
I think they conceded
They
21.
tie versus Inter.
Let me see.
They, yesterday we were saying that Juventus.
They played
Monza
beautiful
should have more
soccer.
from
I know they
Juventus.
sold
Beautiful
players, but
soccer.
compared to last year, you can't fall that low.
I get it, but also you need
they
the
have
players.
Kyriakopoulos. Why can't you say
You need the
something
players.
nice? What the hell is wrong with you? That guy
I'm
Kyriakopoulos.
just, I like
They're probably
Monza.
part
I'm a
of the
fan.
problem.
There's a
of
Greek on
Monza.
there.
Mike.
I like them, but they can't score.
Mike, let me give you this stat. This is pretty crazy. I'm just looking it up now.
Statistic.
Let him give you the stat,
Monza
Mike.
are the 10th best defense in Serie A,
Hello.
but they sit 20th place
But why do they look like they?
because they can't score goals. They only scored 15 goals.
Are
for
they the,
me,
are
it's
they the
that.
lowest scoring? They have,
Lecce have 2 goals less,
but Lecce play better.
3 goals less. But that's my point is that I think defensively they've not been bad. They stay compact. I mean, it's their style. They're gonna wait to
I
hit
just
on
feel like the
counter.
goals they concede, they're so avoidable. I don't know.
Who's the new coach? Is that the assistant? Nessa's
Bocchetti.
assistant?
Remember
yeah.
Salvatore
Bocchetti.
Bocchetti?
That's Nessa's assistant, right?
No, he
Who's
wasn't
this? I never heard
Nesta's
about him.
assistant.
You never heard
you know
of him?
Bocchetti.
He even played for Milan.
Bocchetti.
Genoa-
He's
He
an
was the
Genoa
old player.
interim. He was the
Genoa
interim.
defender.
He was the interim. No, wasn't he?
I'll show you a
He
picture of him.
coached a bit in Hellas Verona.
I'm not familiar.
Very-
Maybe
for-
something is maybe my
I
mind
think
is
it'll-
sleeping a little bit, but I
Uh-oh.
don't remember him.
Put him into the home.
Don't worry, he didn't have a very
Check
good
him
year.
into the home.
He didn't have a really good
I
career in
won't let them
Milan.
take you away from the studio, Aldo. Don't worry. We'll chain you to this bench.
Any other results we want to talk about?
Torino right now is
Lazio.
in
Yeah,
shambles.
Lazio,
Bologna's
Lazio.
looking good. Italiano has his Bologna team
Man,
going
I love
off
it. I
all
love
cylinders.
I love Italiano.
And
I love what he's doing
Torino,
with this team.
the fans are going against Cairo heavily.
Oh, his face looks familiar.
Yeah, you know him.
Mm-hmm.
You know him.
Well, listen.
Yeah, he was at Verona. He was coaching.
was?
Yeah, he was coaching Verona.
All right. So let's
Lazio also got dirty win, if we want to call it that. 87th, 80,
Oh my
85th
God,
minute,
88
Marusic,
minute, yep.
something like that. A game where I thought they were in complete control. They got 10 men. Lecce had 10 men, and they came back and came back to
the
1-1.
chances that they miss. The
crazy.
chances that
The
the
goal-
Lecces miss. Oh
the
my
goal
God. Open
Morente
net.
for Lazio. That was a
Open
beautiful
net.
goal.
Open net.
But yeah, Lazio are back. Even though when they have bad results, Baroni seems to know how to bounce back, which is a huge thing. A lot of coaches struggle with that. When they lose, sometimes they go on a little raw. But from the times that Lazio lost, they usually bounce back, which is a huge
sign.
plus for them. Yeah.
Fiorentina slipping a little bit.
Fiorentina
Oh,
today
man.
was
They were winning
sleeping.
today.
Hey, and you know what's crazy? They only conceded 2 goals in second halves. Today they conceded 2. So now it's up to
The
4.
goal, Tovin scored, Luca
Thauvin.
scored, and
Ranieri, guys.
the
Ranieri.
bicycle kick. Luca almost
Ranieri.
scored.
Ranieri.
Thank God.
Ranieri
Did
in
Gaetano?
the
Did
back.
your father saw the pass of?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I
he
don't know
would
if you
go
saw it.
crazy.
Ranieri. Individual mistake, and then
Yeah, that
it's
was
like they
bad.
crumble. They were on an 8-game win streak
It was a
before
nice
that.
finish, though.
And now you lose 2 in a row. They only lost 1 game until last week. And now you lost to Italiano's Bologna, and now you just lost again today to Udinese.
While you're up,
listen, they're
while you're up
Yeah,
at
They're
I know,
right
home,
where
I
they
know,
have
I
to
know.
be. It's not something to
But
panic about. You just gotta switch back.
Little.
But this is the
Questionable.
reality of a Fiorentina. You know, the reality of Fiorentina is you can be on a high all you want, but ultimately you need the players. If you don't have the players in certain position,
What more
you're
do you
not
need?
gonna do.
You
Come
get
on,
you have
that's all.
Moises Keane. You have a top
I
of
thought
line
you were-
players.
I
All of
thought
a
you-
sudden, now you need a player.
I'm talking
What
about-
player do you need?
I'm talking about
The-
center backs,
Yeah, defensively.
midfielders. There's a couple players that you would be able to pick from other
Listen,
teams. in Serie
Ranieri
A.
made a mistake. That's the end of the
Okay,
story.
I'm just saying that these things happen, and that's the reality of Fiorentina. Not to create any chaos. That's all I'm saying.
All right, last question before we end the podcast. What is so you're saying Napoli can win the Scudetto, and you say Inter are not going to win the Scudetto?
And Atalanta can't either.
No,
Atalanta-
he didn't say the Atalanta.
Don't.
So
You,
what is Atalanta? Sorry, now I'm saying Atalanta. What is Napoli missing, and what is Inter missing that they could sign in January to win the Scudetto in your eyes?
Inter.
Inter or
can't buy
or
any-
Inter, they have
Napoli?
3
Give me-
teams.
give me- wait. So why are they not going to win the Scudetto?
Inter, because they're stupid.
Gotcha. So what is Napoli missing? What is Napoli? What could they sign in January to win the
Napoli, they need
Scudetto?
one more striker and one more center defender.
2 players.
Regardless, 2 players. Regardless of Buongiorno.
Any names come to mind, or you want to stay away? You just want to give the profile?
Yeah, I think they need one more striker and one center defender.
Okay. You say Inter is going to win the Scudetto. So what does Atalanta need, and what does Napoli need?
Atalanta needs another center back. I would say a nice.
Take a Scalvini back.
I think they still need an additional
No,
center
yeah.
back. And I guess Napoli, what they would need. I mean, it would be good also for them to have another center back to back up.
Lukaku's not going to do it.
When Juan Jesus
No, I
is-
know, but Lukaku,
Buongiorno's out for
you
40
have a
days.
Giovanni Simeone. Sure, yeah, you can go if you
I
want
think I
an
would start-
established number 9. You could go, but you're not gonna. You're gonna spend a lot of money.
I
for
would
that.
start Simeone over Lukaku if I was
Okay. So
Conte.
Peter, just a center back.
Yeah, I think
Just
both.
center back.
And even Inter need a center back. So.
Oh, you need a
that's the
center
prime
back?
position.
You got 5 center backs. You wanted me to make the list for you?
No, it's okay. Thank you, though. Michael.
Inter's
You're-
gonna win the Scudetto.
I know.
They
so
don't
what
need
does
another player.
no? So what
Yeah.
does Atalanta need, and what does Napoli need?
I agree with them. I think Atalanta for sure they need defensive reinforcements. Napoli, to be fair, they struggle in goal scoring. I mean, they have wingers, but I'm not a huge fan. Maybe another right winger and maybe a striker. I'm not a big fan of Simeone. I like Simeone, but I don't think he produces. And when Lukaku is not doing well, he really doesn't do well. He's really cold. So maybe a right winger and maybe another striker. And Atalanta for sure, someone defensively.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. Just to piggyback off what he said, I think Atalanta need a center back desperately. And I think Napoli do as well. And I think one profile who played in Italy is Skriniar. He's out at PSG.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like him. I think Skriniar's got the experience. He could play at a high level. I think both of those teams
Aren't you guys after
should be
Skriniar?
looking. No, I think they say Juventus want Antonio Silva instead. And Thiago Motta
so-
doesn't like Skriniar. Should we do Juventus? What's Juventus missing?
Oof, a lot of.
How much time you got?
Juventus need a center back. That's 100%.
You need a new coach because this guy here is all over the places. As far as center back,
I think Juventus need a center forward, a backup center forward, and a center back. That's it.
and you know what? But you need a midfielder too.
We have a million midfielders.
You're giving up a Fagioli. To
No,
me,
they don't
I
need
don't know for
to-
what
no,
reasons.
Fagioli.
Fagioli to me is a great midfielder.
So what are they missing? A midfielder, you're saying.
Yeah, you said you need a leader. You do not have a leader on that team. There
But
is
who's
no
gonna,
leader.
You're not going to sign a leader in January.
There is no leader.
Who
over there.
signs
You
it?
need Dybala.
Oh, come on.
That's what you
All right,
need.
next.
With what wages?
You need
With what
Dybala.
wages?
With Dybala, Juventus could have been in first place right now. Look what you
Striker,
did.
What's
striker.
Juventus?
Look what
Who's
you
a striker?
did.
What's Juventus missing?
What's Juventus missing?
In January. I think it's signed in
The
January.
list is long,
We got
I
man.
think
Santos
it's signed in
list over here.
January.
Obviously, they have to deal with all these injuries, so the center back is
Physiotherapist?
Juventus missing,
the
not to go-
center back
not to
is
go to Serie B.
Pintus is available. No, they need a center back desperately. I think also they need somebody that can compete with Vlahovic, as you mentioned. So those are the two positions. Everywhere else, you have the depth that you need.
What's Milan missing? We finish out.
A right back.
The Milan, I'll tell you
Oh,
what.
right back, my
I'll
God.
tell you what AC Milan needs.
You know who you need?
You need
Kalulu.
No.
You
We
need
need
Kalulu.
Padre Pioli.
we need just to regain the winning mentality because the team is there.
Not even
To
Santa can
say
bring
The
that.
team is there.
You just need a winning mentality. Everybody else needs players
Listen
and
to
a winning
me,
mentality.
pelato di merda.
tu che sei?
Listen to me.
Hey, look who's speaking.
Ibra, unfortunately, from sitting at the bench level, right now we're sitting very far on the top.
I just
And
want to name. I just want a position. I just want a position.
Zlatan
Anto, does Milan
want a
is
position.
Milan
needs to
gonna
get
offer you a
closer to
job?
the field because Zlatan is the winner.
Is
that we
Milan
need.
gonna offer you a job? You can't say
Zlatan-
anything negative about Milan.
Zlatan is
Washing the toilets.
Okay.
Zlatan is the winner that we need on the field, on the grass.
What's Milan missing?
Milan, they're missing a lot of pieces.
So
Well, one, they need a right back, as Mike mentioned.
Look.
You need a center back.
Bunch of losers.
I would say, well, you got Morata, Tammy, okay, but if you really wanted to win something, you need a goal scorer in a nine position.
Another striker?
Sure.
That's a lot of money.
You got Pulisic over there, Leao over there is okay.
all right, come on.
That's
This is not
fine.
the summer.
That's fine.
I think you need.
Yeah.
I think you need a right back. It's obvious. You need a
that's
center back, and you need a new coach. Those
What are you
three.
talking about? We
You
have
need a
center
new
back.
coach.
We have a center back.
I thought you were going to talk about.
No. We don't
You
need a new
center back.
coach.
Oh,
need a
Nesta,
new
coach.
Nesta's on the
You
You
market.
need a new coach.
By the way,
You don't need anything,
You
but
need
yet
a
you're
Nesta.
12th place.
You need a new
Nesta.
coach.
You don't need anything, but you're in 12th
listen,
place.
Mike,
I
let
like the
Mike
way you
answer the
try
question.
so
Let
hard to
Mike
put
answer
AC
the
Milan
question.
down. It's not working. Look
Mike.
at that.
Who?
What does
Milan?
Milan need?
Right
Right
back.
back?
A divine intervention.
Right back.
An exorcist?
A center back.
Center back.
And maybe another midfielder.
Okay.
And a spanakopita too.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Merry
Oh, wait.
Christmas.
We
Happy
have to say
holidays
something
to
about
everyone.
the bagel.
Make
About the
sure
bagel.
you vote for
Highway
Highway
Bagel.
Bagel's
Highway
best
Bagel.
bagel in
Go
Brooklyn.
to
In the world.
In the world.
Woo!
Go on the bottom of the description of the stuff. Look for the IQ, the QR. What's that? QR, right?
You're still searching for your
I thought it
IQ,
was
huh?
IQ
Look
code.
for the QR code. Look for the QR code, and you can vote every day, once a day.
That's right. I don't know if
Do
that's true.
I have
Do
20.
not
I
disappoint.
have 20 emails right now.
Listen,
for
we have
Highway
way
Bagel.
to check whether
What's
you
the
guys
jingle?
are voting.
What's the jingle?
Well, I don't have a jingle now, but
Come on.
My way.
wait, oh, the highway.
Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Ciao,
And
ragazzi.
Forza
Body.
and
Milan.